After a string of carjackings in Metro Nashville, including 2 that were deadly, we are working for you this morning to make sure that you know what to do if you're ever in a frightening situation like that. We're going live back out to News 4's Kim St. Ange. She's with a security expert this morning and a former Metro police officer. Kim, you've been giving us some incredible tips here, stuff I've never even heard of. What are you sharing with us now?
Yeah, so we want to talk specifically about the different types of scenarios, rare situations where you actually fight back. This is Kurt Capps. He's with Premier Protective Security, former Metro police officer. You dealt with a lot of carjackings. 99% of the time you say, do whatever they say.
Absolutely, absolutely. Less than 10% of the time in carjackings is there serious injury involved. So we typically say is to comply.
I mean, because they'd have a gun. You know, you're not going to be able to fight back against a gun if you're sitting in your car.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're going to walk you through the scenario. Kurt, so follow me here and tell us what to do. You're putting your kids in your car. You just buckled them up. You're closing the door. You're walking up to the car. You're about to get in. You're approached. Okay, what do you do?
Right. Well, the very first thing is to make sure that they know that you have children in the car. You want to tell them because the majority of the time they just want your car. They don't want your children. They don't want you. They want your car. So make sure and make it clear that my children are in the car and I'm going to get my children out of the car and you can have it. You can take it.
Give it up.
I'm getting
Give the keys
children.
up.
Exactly.
Okay, let's say I'm getting in the car. Okay, I say, no, my kids are in the car. They say, we don't care. We want the kids in the car. What do you do then?
At that point, all bets are off. You have to fight. You have to do whatever you can to not let them take your children. The same goes if they try, even if you don't have children. If it's just you, they try to force you in the car. You're going to have to make the decision that you're going to have to fight with all you have at that point and not let them take you or your children.
Good morning, this is Kim St. Ange, and if you've been watching News 4 today, we've been showing you different scenarios all morning, and we've actually been joined by security expert here, Kurt Capps. He's with Premier Protective Security, and you were a Metro police officer for several years. There's different scenarios, and that will determine how you should react in different situations if you were potentially carjacked. Okay, so let's go through some of these scenarios. And by the way, I want to make this clear. I'm going to be asking Kurt questions, so he'll hopefully answer some of your questions that you might have too. But if you have any, go ahead and type them in. Our photojournalist, Andrew Baker, is here manning the camera, so he'll be able to read some of those questions and hopefully Kurt can answer them. Okay, Kurt, so one of them, let's do this here. So you said you're more likely to be carjacked as you're walking to your car rather than when you're already inside?
That's correct. That's correct. Because once you're inside, they know that you have a chance of just taking off in the car and leaving and things. So they want to get you right as you're getting to the door for the most part.
Here on News 4, we've shown you how to survive a carjacking. Well, this morning, now we're showing you how close they can happen to where you live.
All right, News 4's Kim St. Ange is here right now, and she is joining us talking about the 3 locations where you're most likely to be carjacked. Kim, tell us, what do you know?
Yeah, so I was looking at all these statistics here. We got all the stats on the carjackings from last year. There's 6 pages of it, by the way. And the location that had the fewest was actually the Central Precinct, which is basically downtown Nashville, had by far the fewest number of carjackings, just 3 all of last year. Just for comparison, to give you some perspective here, South Nashville had the most at 56. So in 2017, there were 262 carjackings across Nashville. Good chunk of them happened on the north side of town, which had 50 carjackings. That came in close second after South Nashville. Security experts say the most likely time to be carjacked is between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. And I'm telling you, when we got these statistics from Metro PD, it matched up perfectly with what we were hearing from security experts. Well, nationwide, unfortunately, carjackings are on the rise. So I wanted to show you this interactive map here because this is one of the best ways for you to see how safe your neighborhood really is. This is on WSNV.com right now. This is what it looks like. You go to the web story here, you're going to see this map. These different colors here represent the different precincts, so that would be north, of course, South Nashville. All these red icons, those are all of the carjacking. So if you click on one of these icons, you could do this right now. Click on one of them here. Left-hand corner, you're going to see the exact address, date, and time of when that happened. But you know what? We took it one step further here. You can actually go back over here. You can type in your own address in this little search bar, and it will pinpoint a location on this map and tell you exactly how close carjackings have happened to where you live. A lot of us here in the newsroom have been doing it, and I'm telling you, there's been jaws dropped. It's kind of alarming to see this. So again, 262 carjackings in Nashville. Go check out this map, a critical tool here to see how safe your neighborhood is. We really were trying to figure out, what are the areas that had the most carjackings, and I have some answers for you. So the South Nashville area actually had the most, 56 carjackings last year. North Nashville, so the North Precinct area, would have been 50, so that was the second area. And then the third was actually Hermitage, 38. Of all these different areas here, they divided up between East, North, South, Midtown, Central, Hermitage, Madison, and West. The area that had the fewest was actually Central, and not just by a little, by a long shot. Central only had 3 carjackings in all of 2017. So we created this interactive map. It's really incredible. I'm telling you, it's an awesome tool for you. You can do it today. I want to introduce you to Kara Apel here. She is actually the woman, she works on our web here at WSMV. She created this map, and we're going to walk you through it because there's a lot to it. It can give you a ton of information. I mean, you spent, what, hours on this?
Yeah, several hours.
Because, okay, just to give you an idea, so Kara, what'd you do? You basically had to plug all these in, right?
Right, so we took all of the addresses that we got with it, and there's like 6 pages of these.
Right.
We plugged them into this map, which the colors you see, that's the different police precincts here. The little police badges, that's the actual locations of all of the incidents. And we plugged in the date and the time of each one. So if you click on one.
Okay, so you click on one and look what it gives you. 585 Hickory Hills Boulevard. It tells you this carjacking happened on January 25th of 2017 at 6 p.m. And by the way, this is down to the minute. So let me click on another one here. So this would be in the Hermitage area. November 1st, 2017, 3:26 a.m. The address there, 1005 Hickory Hill Lane.
And we did this just because, Kim had the data, and I figured, when I would hear this story, I would want to know, is this affecting my neighborhood? Is this close to me? And also, importantly, like, what time is this happening at?
Right. So we had a security expert. You'll remember this, Kara. We had them basically telling us how to survive a carjacking. And something interesting he was telling me is that a lot of these carjackings, the most likely window for you to be carjacked is the 12-hour window between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. And when we plug these all in, it fit that. Obviously there's some that happen broad daylight, which is terrifying, but most of them happen in that time frame. So let me show you something else that's really, really interesting here. So Kara actually set it up too, where you see this little search button up here. Let's just type in, say, like the WSMV.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is our news station. This is our address right here, 5700 Knob Road in West Nashville. You click on that. So pretend this is you entering your own address where you live. Okay, let me zoom in here. Whoops. All right, you see this little thing right here where it did a little drop button there? So that's where our station is. These are all the carjackings that happened. So you would essentially be able to see where these carjackings happened, how close they are to where you live. Which is really, you were Googling your own home. I think a lot of us here have been doing that today.
I was surprised by how many were happening in like the Sylvan Heights area. But we didn't want to do this to scare people. We just wanted to let you know, because if you're aware and you know that these are happening near your neighborhood, you're going to be a lot more vigilant.
Right.
And, that's not going to prevent a crime necessarily, but at least you'll be
aware of it.
And that's the biggest thing with crimes, is just being aware of your surroundings and having your mace or whatever in hand. I know it kind of freaked me out a little bit because we come in early, and to see all these crimes happening early in the morning was
to something.
Because you assume that, but when the data actually backs that up, it's a little bit.
And you're seeing it
scary.
so close to your home.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you are just joining us, I just want to recap real quickly. 262 carjackings in Nashville in 2017. And a lot of them, the majority of them happened in the South Nashville area. That was the most, 56 carjackings. North Nashville had 50, and then the Hermitage area was the third most, and that was around 38. Central had the least, so that would be like downtown Nashville. That only had 3 in all of last year. So go on to WSMV.com. Let me show you where it is on our website. So here's our homepage. I'll even refresh it for you so that it's up to date. This is the top story. You're going to see it right there. It says over 260 carjackings reported in Nashville in 2017. Kara, who you were just hearing from, she just set this up. Scroll down, click on your map here, and that's where you can enlarge this too, by the way. But that's where you'll get to that we were just showing you. And Kara, talk one more thing. You set this up too.
Yeah, so I've got the link where you can actually plug in your address to get your police precinct information, which is important to have plugged into your phone so that if there is a crime, like a non-emergency crime, that you wouldn't call 911 for, that you have the phone number ready, so that you're calling the actual police precinct who would respond. So if you clicked on our station address, it would pull up West, and so then this is their phone number, this is their location, they've got the commander information. So That's important to have too. And then it's important to see also kind of, and this is outlined in our other map, but like what the precinct covers, like what the area is.